Any questions? Please do not divert to something else that you want to present. Stick to the subject. If you have a question on this, we talk, because this is important. We can always show your experiment.
Mr. Keshe, this is Azar.
Yes, Dr. Azar.
I have a question. Is it possible to use the plasma to bring a soul that has already dead? I mean, the body is dead.
Yes.
How can we do that?
Wisdom of the knowledge. Because the body which says the soul still exists in another dimension.
So, using the providing, do we need to provide a physicality for that soul to bring that?
It's the soul which has to understand if it wants to manifest itself as a physicality. If you take the center of the earth to another position in the universe, is the field strength which allows the condition of the boundary which dictates how the earth will manifest itself in what shape or form in that position. Just because you moved the center of the earth does not mean it's the end of the earth, but it means the manifestation of itself in another position, dimension, in the strength of the environment. When a man dies, the soul or the center
I think we lost Mr. Keshe.
they are these elements which the environment decide the presentation. Maybe when the soul, I noticed there was a cut.
Yeah, I think we missed the last couple of sentences that you said.
I didn't say anything. I noticed.
Okay. Okay,
no, I didn't say anything. No problem. So what happens now? Your body has, let's say, blessed is the name, Christ has done this, and nobody could see. He did it with himself. I explained this before, and he did a couple of times for audience to see, to show the power of his knowledge and his mercy. When Christ came off the cross, the physicality was finished, but the soul existed. He understood the pain, he understood the reason. When he came off the cross, the physicality of Christ was not the same as when he went on the cross. But those who were near to him understood the essence of his creation, saw him. The resurrection is very much, if you take the center of the earth into another position, it will manifest itself in what will be there. In the new environment might not be any water, but it has to be acidic. So you see the acid planet, where here is water, zinc, copper, and everything else. This is what we have to understand. Is it possible to bring a soul into its physical dimension? It's already in physical dimension in respect to the other souls. They see and hear each other, but not at the strength of the observation of the man. If you have, very much like a salt water, create that condition, then you have what you want. You wiped out my page. So now you see the whole game has changed. Now you understand a lot of things becomes much easier. Very much easier. do we need to change, or do we need to bring new conditions that the change appear the way we want it? Do we want to see the resurrection in the physicality of dimension? Because when the body was in this physical dimension, according to what it was created for or at, had the blue eyes, blonde hair, white skin. But in the process of the evolution and knowledge and existence on this planet, the desire of the soul became to be black, brown eyes, and something else. And now that you bring the soul will see, you observe the physicality. This is not what he went. My father was blonde, blue eyes, and now is this. Now you're still looking in what you wanted to see, not what's the essence of the soul. This is exactly how Christ came off the cross. And this is how people close to him saw him, and they moved away from Jerusalem. And nobody noticed. The resurrection is not of the physicality, is of the manifestation or appearance of the soul in the speed, in the strength, which it is happy to be with the new strengths of the evolution of the understanding of this environment. Zoroaster did the same. But the man never understood. He hid it within the flame. As the soul and the energy is of the same. He explained it as fire. That's the only way man could understand. He explained it in the name of Ahura Mazda. I made man in the image of myself, depending where my image has to be. Earth, moon, another galaxy. I appear in the image where the environment allows and would like to see me to be as. Any other question?
Mr. Keshe,
Yes.
I have another question. And this has to do with the prior teaching that we were talking about CH3 and CO2 and zinc and copper. We talk about CH3, which is a giver, a magnetic point of exit, and north pole, and acidic. So when somebody is a giver, does this mean the person is acidic, or is it at the point of exit, or has more CH3?
The thing is, this is a narrow way of understanding the knowledge, as even a CO2 or zinc oxide is a giver too. It's the extent of the giving which decides the desire of receiving. When we talk about CH3, is because of the availability of tritium in the plasma state. I've explained this before. Actually, copper gives more than the CH3. But it takes more too.
another question I have, Mr. Keshe. Do we have to be emotionally balanced in order to get to our soul? And does anything named emotionally balanced exist? I mean, is the balance is creation of human, or emotion is emotion?
Emotion balance, you have to understand, emotion is a middle layer. You have the soul and you have the physicality on either side. That gives the manifestation of the existence and confirmation of the both. Without the emotion, you will not have the soul. Without the emotion, you will not have the physicality. It's the intermediary. This is how, if you feel in respect to the environment, you grow tall, and everybody in that environment will be tall, or short, or brown eyes, or white, or black, or yellow, or with 2 fingers and all 4 toes. So when you speak about the emotion, you have to understand emotion is actually itself part of the process of the dictating the evolution. And it's the intermediary, it's the balance, it's a transition, it's dark, or what you call black energy, or dark energy, or what we call transition energy. It's the emotion which decides how the physicality will manifest itself from the source, which is the soul of the man. It's a very, very simple. You have your soul, you have your emotion, and you have your physicality. And this has to be. How much of the gravitational it gives that you become tall, and how much of the magnetical it takes that you become short. This is how the soul wants to manifest itself in physicality. And that's what you see, the image of itself. The bigger proton, small electron. This brings an ethical question. Does genetic engineering interferes with the soul of the man, or does it interfere with the physicality of the man, which affects the soul of the man? That is for the wise man to understand.